Camera, don't be.
Without seeing.
Recording in progress.
Hello.
Hey, Coach. Hey, Coach.
Who's that? Oh, Kelly.
Yep, I was one of them. Somebody's one of them here too.
I am on my way to Bailey Park for the last rec game of the season. Exciting stuff.
Super exciting.
Recording in progress.
Sure are.
Okay.
I'm looking for the button that you told me, and I was nervous that
Down the, does it say more or something like that?
well, I'm still
Are you-
admitting people. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. If you're the host, if you look down the bottom right of the screen, there's something that says more options and you click on that and then it says stream.
I'm not seeing most of my, it's security participants chat, share screen. There's options there. Advanced sharing. Not there. That was my dog being
He was agreeing with you?
yeah. I see breakout rooms, reactions, and pause and stop recording. Greg, I actually had texted you anyway. I was going to say, is it something that I can post to YouTube after, since we didn't advertise live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, if you record it, then you can download it like you did for that recording that I did for the college recruitment stuff.
Perfect. Then we're good to go then on the tech side because we're recording.
Okay. Are any of the other coaches on the line?
I'm here. Here. Can you hear me?
There we go. Coach Neil, did you get my text?
Yes, sir. Ready to go.
Okay. You're good to go? Thank you.
Greg, I'm on as well, but I'm driving to Raleigh.
Everyone's driving. Robin's driving to Raleigh as well. I don't know if she's on the call. How far into your drive are you, Emily?
About halfway. Just getting into
wow.
Greensboro.
Are you going to the ACC games tonight?
No. I got 8 a.m. games both days.
Yeah.
Rusty's logging on.
Okay. How many of the girls have we got on there right now?
Looks to be about 25-ish.
Okay. What complex are you at tomorrow, Emily?
WRAL and Wake Stone.
Okay. Yeah, we're at 8 a.m. at WRAL as well.
Love those 8 a.m.ers.
Yeah, could be a little chilly. All right. Well, we only have 40 minutes on our call here, so let's get started, and then Aaron, if you can just keep an eye on folks that may join late, and if you can admit them, and thanks to everyone for being on the call today. I know Friday's a busy day. Everyone's got stuff going on. We've got tournaments going on. Appreciate you taking the time to tune in with us. The one of our meetings each month is to give you guys a chance to listen to a guest speaker, and the guest speaker today we're really fortunate to have is someone that knows a lot about our club, and I'll have Coach Neil introduce her, and then we'll get going. If you have any questions, hold them to the end, make a note of them, and our speaker will be happy to talk to you. Okay, Neil, all yours.
Appreciate it. Can you guys hear me? I need thumbs up. Maybe I don't see any cameras, so I can't. Kelly, I see you, Kelly. Can you hear me?
I can hear.
And I can say this, that if we want to help Kelly out a little bit today, I think seeing your face would be awesome. It's just a lot easier to feel like you're speaking to a group that way. Okay. Rusty, I see you're here. So did you want to say anything before we start?
No, sorry, I came in late, guys. Just one of those bad internet days at home. So if I get kicked off, you know why. But Kelly, we're excited to have you as our first presenter this month, and look forward to hearing what you have to say.
All right. So girls, it is my honor and privilege to introduce our guest speaker today. Kelly and I actually go way back. I was her youth coach when she was on the 95 North Mech Soccer Club girls team. We have some fond memories of Kelly was on one of our first teams to ever advance to a state cup Final Four. We were fantastic group of players, and Kelly was a young leader back then, and has grown into a very mature young leader, which I'm sure you'll hear more about today. Kelly's been with us, like I said, for forever, since we were North Mech Soccer Club, since we were the Carolina Rapids, and now as the Charlotte Independence. She went on to play college soccer at Appalachian State University, and through her career there, worked her way into a position of team captain. Most recently, she has played for our WPSL team this summer and was also named team captain by Coach Dave Carton. Coach Dave couldn't be here today, but he wanted to share this quote with you guys about Kelly. Kelly stood out from day one as someone that had the experience, commitment, humility, and appetite to be a leader and a captain. Kelly is a selfless player, but carried the professional discipline that allowed her to lead by example. Kelly has a strong character, and she's not afraid to look you in the eye when she speaks to you. She has a desire to win, but also has the emotional intelligence to know the difference between how to support a teammate, but also how to stretch a teammate as well. She took her role as captain very seriously and understood the demands of leading other young female soccer players. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Kelly Flanders. Take it away, Kelly.
Thanks, Coach Neil. Thanks everybody for having me here today. I'm really excited to get to talk to you guys, and just really excited that you guys have this opportunity. I think it's a unique experience that not a lot of young females have. I personally didn't have any formal leadership training until my junior year of college. So I think it's an awesome opportunity that you guys are getting to hear about leadership and learn about it at this phase in life that you're currently in. So as Coach Neal said, I've played for the Independence and Legacy clubs my entire life. Started on the lowest of low teams and worked my way up to our senior girls team and was a leader and captain throughout high school and then my senior year at App State. And then of course this past summer with the WPSL team. So today I just wanted to share a little bit with you guys about how my leadership style has adapted over all these years and some of the things that I've learned and how I've grown as a leader to become a better leader today. And hopefully I'll continue to become a better leader moving forward too. So like I said, I did not have any leadership experience when I was you all's age. I knew nothing about what it meant to be a captain other than what I saw people do and just really this made up thing in my head that I thought is what it meant to be a captain. So at 15, 16 years old, I was thinking that a captain is that person that says the things that nobody else wants to say. They're willing to step up and say some of the harder comments and have some of those harder conversations. So for me, at that age, I thought it was the person saying, come on guys, it's got to be better, or it's not good enough, or we need a better first touch, better pass, we have to defend as a team. It's all these things that we need to call out about ourselves that we're not doing right and maybe need to do better. And then the other side of that, I thought it was this person that didn't have any fun, didn't laugh or joke and warm up. It was the person that kept everybody focused and was the one that said, hey guys, time to get warmed up. It's time to get started. No more joking around, or we got a game today, we have to be focused. But I think that's not true. I think you can laugh and have fun and joke around and still be a leader to get your team prepared in that way. You don't have to be perfect. Your teammates are not going to be perfect. So it's really just, the goal is to help prepare your team for each and every situation that you're in, whether it's warming up for training or warming up for the game. But it's not this one serious mission all of the time. So at that time, I thought it was the single one-dimensional thing of leadership. I thought it was this vocal and almost kind of aggressive way to lead. And it took some experiences for me to realize that it wasn't just that, and it was more than that. So I remember my first experience of that was in a club game. I was getting on one of my teammates for not making a good touch or a pass or whatever it was, and she whipped around and looked at me and she said, "Stop yelling at me." And I think we both were taken a little bit by surprise and like, wow, she really just said that. And the game's still going on, and the two of us are like, okay, something's not aligned here. And so it took some reflection and time for me to learn that you have to learn how to communicate with your teammates and how to communicate, because everyone receives feedback in the same way and not everyone wants to be communicated to in the same way. Some people do like to for you to yell at them and get on them if they're not playing their best, but there's other people that need some more constructive feedback. So that was like the first time I realized I really need to know who I'm talking to. I need to know my teammates and what they care about, what they're passionate about, and that they may not be at the same intense level that I might be at in that moment. And then the second thing from that, and kind of a strategy, I guess, to give you guys, if you are ever in an intense moment like that, it's okay to get worked up in the game. But I think taking a moment after the game or at halftime to just talk at it with that teammate of, hey, this is what I'm seeing. What are you seeing? Or how can I support you in that situation? So we're not getting beat down the sideline, or we're not getting split down the middle, whatever. Or ask them, what do you see that's happening on that perspective, and just kind of get back on that mutual ground. So that was my first experience, and I won't say I realized it yet because I don't think I did realize it at that point in time, but that was the first thing I look back on that I realized that leadership is not just ordering people around or demanding our team to play at a certain level. So, and the second experience I had was in a state cup game, and we were not winning. We needed to win to advance, right, to the next round. So I'm a pretty competitive person. I wanted to win. I wanted to see our team succeed, and it was going to take a lot for our team to succeed. So again, I was the one saying, hey, we have to do better. We have to complete that pass. We have to score that goal, or it has to be on frame. Whatever it was always, it has to be one step better rather than a constructive form. And at that time, at halftime, was actually my coach at the point in time that said, Kelly, you're out there being a jerk and you're not doing the work yourself. And so that in front of our whole team, right? That's hard to be called out in front of your team like that and really have to take a look back on yourself of, am I doing the things that I'm asking of my teammates? And if I'm not, what do I need to change so that I am giving my best effort and being a good teammate and being the role that I need to be playing in the field. So those two on the field experiences, I think, started to change my mindset of, okay, this communication style is not going to be sustainable long term. It's not necessarily the best way to communicate. And then I started to get some feedback off the soccer field of, hey, you're a natural leader, you set examples, you lead by example. So I started to get this idea of, oh, I don't have to use my voice all the time to lead. I can lead by example. And I still thought leadership was this one-dimensional thing, and each person that was a leader led in one way. So I started to shift my mindset to thinking and believing that I lead by example, which I think is true. But at this time, it was the only way I was leading. I stopped being vocal. So I went to college, and I'm a freshman coming in with lots of girls older than me. It can be a little bit of an intimidating experience at first. But I was successful early on, I think, because I led by example, and I didn't say too much, but I worked hard and rose the level of our team and was rewarded through playing and starting from the beginning. So for me, I'm thinking this is working, leading by example. That's me. That's defining leadership style. So as time went on in college, I started getting feedback of, you're not saying enough, you're not vocal enough, you need to communicate more. And for me, I thought I was communicating. I was talking to the people I was playing next to. I was saying what I thought was enough, but it was probably the minimum. It was minimal communication. It was what we needed to work together on the field. It wasn't necessarily leading the team to that next level. So fast forward to my senior year, and I was chosen as one of the captains, but there were 4 captains. So at this point in time, I'm starting to think, okay, I'm a senior now. I can talk more, I can say more, I can be the one to rally our team and kind of push us to that next level in a more constructive way. But with 4 of us, that's a lot of voices when everyone's trying to talk and lead. So that was a challenge, not just on the field, but off the field in terms of communication, because you've got 4 different points of contact to lead that team and to be a liaison between the team and the coaches. And if you think about trying to work around 4 people's college schedules, everyone's at a different place at a different time, and trying to meet with our coaches, realistically, we just weren't always able to meet all together. So there were different, some people would be a part of one conversation, some people would be part of another conversation, and communication wise, that was hard and challenging. So at that time, I still didn't really get that chance to improve how I communicated as a leader, and didn't take that opportunity. I stepped back a little bit, and tried to find other ways to lead. I think that's good, looking back, that I was able to grow in some other spaces. And there's like some of them. I'm hearing an echo. Is anyone else hearing an echo? Okay, maybe not.
I am too, Kelly.
Okay, I mean, it looks like everyone's muted, but we'll try again. So with there being 4 voices, I wasn't communicating as much. That wasn't really my style of leadership. I was leading by example, but I still wanted to push myself to that next level of leadership, because now I was an official captain. I wanted to do more as an official leader of our team. So a couple of the things that I started to realize were also of being a captain and leadership, was being a good teammate. And you're thinking to yourself, Kelly, that's obvious. We're all supposed to be good teammates to each other. But it was more than that. It was about being a good teammate, not only to my teammates, but also to myself. After one of my games, one of my coaches was like, Kelly, you say these things to yourself and about yourself that you would never say about anyone else. You would never go up to somebody and say, that was an awful game. That's the worst you've ever played. But I wasn't afraid to say that to myself. But that hurt me from a leadership perspective, because I spent too much time beating myself up, not being a good teammate to myself, that I didn't get as many opportunities to be a good teammate to my teammates. So that was one thing that I really opened my eyes to at that point, is to be a good teammate, I need to first be a good teammate to myself, and keep myself at a place where I'm able to motivate my teammates, encourage them, and help them grow as people and players. The second thing I started to focus more on was being inclusive with my teammates and trying to engage everyone. We always had a very large team. While I was at App, there was, I think, 36 of us at one point. That was the most we had. And that's a lot of people to keep happy and engaged, and a lot of girls to try to get to like each other. And so that was one thing that I tried to focus on, is eliminating some of the divisions that happen. And it's not because of any intention. There's just natural division in life and in our world, whether it was who you lived with, what apartment complex you lived in, nothing that was intentionally divisive. It's just, if you love people, you're going to spend more time with them. Or my freshman year, we had half of our freshman class traveled and half of them redshirted. So there's some clear divisions and things like that when you go to college, which you don't always have at the club level. So I spent some more time there trying to engage people that maybe were not as engaged as others. Maybe they lived on their own, or they were involved in some other things, so they weren't spending their free time necessarily with our team. So when we were together, how do we cultivate an environment that brings everybody together as one team, and our differences are separating us, but they're something we can leverage and bring together to make a better team. And then the third thing, and I would say one of the biggest things that I learned about in college as a leader, is how to listen to my teammates and how to advocate for them, and how to get a sense of your team and where your team is at, how they're feeling emotionally, mentally, whether it's about the next game you're playing, whether it's about practice. There's a lot more dimensions to life and soccer in college than there is in club soccer. So I had to learn to to look at our team holistically, not just what we were doing on the field, but what we were doing off the field. Are people going to class? Are they getting the nutrition they need? Mom and dad aren't there to make them a meal every night, but are they fueling their body well enough to where they can perform on the soccer field? Are they doing their homework when they need to, so they're not staying up till 3 a.m. doing it the night before a game? Are they homesick? Are they happy? Are they sad? What's going on in their personal life? Because you don't have the same support system that you've always had growing up. So you have to cultivate this new support system and new engagement within the team. So I think that's a different piece of leadership in the college setting that you have to be aware of, and then learning to advocate for what your team needs as a result of understanding where they are and what they're feeling at that point. Do you need to advocate for a team dinner or for a fun game at practice, or even the littlest thing of ensuring there's ice at the field because everyone's sore from the lift early that day? Just being willing to go to bat for your teammates with your coaches and expressing what they need. And I think that's a positive thing that coaches appreciate too, because they're not with us every minute of every day, but you are with your teammates a lot every day. You, the leader and captain, you're seeing a lot more of what's going on behind the scenes and what people might need and ways they might need support. And then I guess that brings me to this past summer of leading our WPSL team. And for me, that was a big honor, I would say, to have an opportunity to A, continue my soccer career, and B, be a leader on that team after I've learned so much about leadership through time and reflection. I was excited to have the opportunity to lead again without necessarily having the mindset of I can only lead one way and I am someone who only leads by example. It took some time to get to know the team. It was a completely new team, and we only had 2 months to learn the team, play together, and get the job done. So that's a quick turnaround to learn about a team, and then also figure out how to best lead the team. And it did take a little time, but there's some moments that I'm definitely proud of where I was able to utilize some of these different leadership techniques depending on the situation or the game or where we were. So in terms of understanding how the team's feeling and what they're thinking in that moment, one experience that I think of is a game we played in Asheville, and we only had 12 players show up. We drove 2 hours and we had one sub against one of the top teams in our conference. And that's, as a team, that's tough when you show up and most of your team's not there. It kind of feels like you got let down by your teammates. So for me as a leader in that situation, it was something I had to acknowledge head on of, hey, this sucks. Like, our team did not show up for us today. And it doesn't feel good. And maybe it makes us question, why did I show up if nobody else is going to show up? But we're here and we're here for each other. So we need to work for every person that is here today. And we played our hearts out. We didn't win. But it's just about acknowledging where you are and where your team is and facing that and rallying together to get around it. And then I think about, from an inclusion standpoint, there's different groups. And again, it's natural. Some people played at the same college together. Some people played at the same club growing up and were on the same team for years when they were younger. So people have already built those relationships. So it's natural to migrate into those groups and stuff. But it was super visible for me at some practices. You could see before we're warming up, you've got a group here, a group over here, and a group back here. It's these like clusters of people. I can remember like sitting smack dab in the middle of them one time and then trying to talk across these groups and make, you have to kind of force some of that bondage, especially in such a short period of time, if you want to come together as a team. And I guess the last example I would point out from the summer, and the one I'm probably most proud of, is my communication. I think one of the games later on in the season, I started to realize how young our team truly was. So I'm 25, and I know that probably sounds ancient to some of you guys, but a lot of our team was 18 and 19, and they were rising freshmen in college, or they had just finished their freshman year, and that was during COVID. So they barely had a freshman year in college. So there was a lot of young players on our team. And for me, it was the first time that I was playing with people that were at my same life phase, if you will. So in college, like people that are in college, we're all kind of in the boat. The biggest gap is a freshman to a senior. Whereas in this case, I've been out of for a couple of years, and some of these girls haven't even been to college yet. They haven't played at that level at all. So that was one thing I started to realize later in the season, and how needed to be in lead constantly. And I think in this one game in particular, I don't think I shut up the entire game. It was constant leading and encouraging, instructing, constructive criticism. But the thing is, it was all positive. It was guiding people where we needed to go, making sure we were playing the style we wanted to play, whether it was immediate prep or forcing them inside or outside, and making sure if one step, we're all stepping. It was just constantly making sure that as a group, we were staying at that high level and working together and doing what we needed to maintain that level of play. So I guess that's my experience of being a leader throughout my soccer career. And then the only last thing I would leave you with is that you guys get to be a leader on the field and off the field. As athletes, you are natural leaders, and people look up to you. They're going to look at you, whether it's at your school, in the community, or just out at the mall. So just know that you have this privilege. Just because you're an athlete, people are going to be watching you, and so you have an opportunity to lead wherever you are. That's all I have for you guys. Do you guys have any questions you want to ask me?
When you were a leader growing up, did you have opportunities like this to like help you grow and like learn that like you can lead in more than one way, or was it something that you just kind of had to discover by yourself?
I really didn't have any formal leadership training until I was a part of SAC. It's a student athlete advisory committee, and most schools have them. So basically a couple of people from each sport at the college come together to make decisions on behalf of the athletes at their school and on behalf of athletes in the NCAA. So that's the first place that I really had any leadership training of, here's some different ways you can lead, and learning also about myself, of what my skills are, so that I knew how I could leverage my skills to lead most effectively. But at your age, I guess I realized I could lead in other spaces, like in clubs at school and in my community, but I didn't know different ways to lead. I wouldn't say it was still, I thought leading was just organizing the group or the team and making sure everyone was doing what they're supposed to do. I didn't realize how much more went into it. Do you guys feel as leaders that you're respected by your teams, and do you have any challenges as leaders that you would want either tactics or skills to try to overcome?
This is that awkward time.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad there's no challenges and everyone's respected all the time. That's great.
Everybody's awesome. Yep.
That's
So-
right. That's what we like to hear.
I just wanted to jump in real fast. So we've got just under 5 minutes left on the call. So I think, if we truly open it up and give everybody a chance to ask the questions, or take the time to think through really what they want to hear from you. You've spoken and done so well presenting the information and kind of the evolution of your leadership. So, from here, if Rusty's okay with it, maybe we can take I can follow up, or one of the staff can follow up with some supplemental questions that the girls really process what you said and give them time. And then, if you just want a quick Q&A video answer back or chat people back, we can kind of coordinate that and help that if the girls are interested and if you're willing to continue to give your advice.
Yeah, of course, I'd be happy to. And it doesn't have to be next week. If it's for and you guys think of something, someone still has my contact info.
Yep. Rusty, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, Aaron, that's a great idea. We can do that with our cohort meetings next. We can each of us can take care of that with our age groups. Coach Neil, anything before we finish up?
Yeah, sorry about that. Listen, I just wanted to, thank Kelly again for being here. And for me, it was really cool to because I personally know the pathway of Kelly from her youth career all the way through to now. It was just really cool to see that your leadership kind of grew in a similar way, and how you recognize the need for things to change and adjust accordingly so you can continue to keep up and lead at the level, each new level. I thought that was really cool for our girls to hear. So kudos to you for that. And I really appreciate you being willing to help whenever the girls need it, is basically what I heard. So thank you for being here, Kelly. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Rusty, you want to wrap it up for us? I had to step away and I'm driving now. So if you don't mind.
Yep. Ladies, what a great opportunity for you to listen to one of our players, right? It's going through the system with us, one of our legacy clubs, and obviously playing at the highest level that we have now with the WPSL. Kelly's a tremendous lady, and you can learn a lot from her. So it was great to hear your story, Kelly. Appreciate it very much. And yeah, that's good. Awesome first one. Look forward to the next one coming up in December. It'll be pretty quick, actually, next 3 or 4 weeks. We'll have our second one, and all the best this weekend with everyone, okay? Coach Aaron, you good?